Good evening. I'll call the December 16th City of Monmouth Council meeting to order. You'll please rise and join me in the pledge to the flag. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If I could have a roll call for attendance, please.
Grant.
Here.
Alderman Bone.
Here.
Alderman Daw.
Here.
Alderman Pinero.
Here.
Alderman Ferry.
Here.
Alderman Bentley.
Here.
Roll call complete.
Thank you. I'd entertain a motion for approval of the December 2nd council meeting minutes as presented. Do I have a second? Second. And a second. Are there any amendments or corrections to those minutes as presented? Hearing none, a roll call, please.
Grant.
Yes.
Bone.
Yes.
Daw.
Yes.
Pinero.
Yes.
Ferry.
Pass.
Bentley.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Is there anyone who wishes to address council this evening? Hearing none. Chief, do you have something going on tonight? We have the swearing in.
Yes, Mayor, thank you. Tonight we have Ryan Armstrong. We request that he be sworn into the rank of Assistant Chief, I believe.
Great.
Ryan, if you would join us up here. Just stand up here, Ryan.
Okay. Raise your right hand and repeat.
I, Ryan Armstrong,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of Assistant Chief
the duties of Assistant Chief
for the City of Monmouth Fire Department
for the City of Monmouth Fire Department
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations, you're duly sworn. Now I just need your card. This is your copy.
Okay.
Just sign.
Yeah, cameras.
All right.
Okay, great. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you. I think everybody else congratulates you here.
Oh, that's yours. Thank you for the use.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Moving on in our agenda, we have one item on the consent agenda, and that's approval of the bills.
Motion to pay the bills.
Do I have a second? Second. Do we have any items that need to be removed for further discussion? Hearing none, a roll call, please.
Bone.
Yes.
Daw.
Yes.
Pinero.
Yes.
Ferry.
Yep.
Bentley.
Yes.
Grant.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Under Committee of the Whole, we have our Fire Department November report, Chief Rexroth.
Thank you, Mayor. For the month of November, we had 113 calls. That's 1,523 calls so far this year. Just under training, firefighter Manjerian Osborne attended technical rescue team training, and that was held in Peoria on a trench rescue. That's actually working out very well for us with them being in that program. They're getting a lot of beneficial training, and when they go down there for certifications and things like that, a lot of the training is actually reimbursable for the tuition and for overtime backfill and things like that. So very good program to have. The trucks had a few minor issues last month, and actually the ones for ladder 40, the seat belt and the hydraulic filter, those were actually issues that were found when they did the annual service to the truck towards the end of the summer. They just had to order the parts, and we wanted to find a good time to have him back to do those things. But the one with engine 21, there was a pump shifter that goes when you shift the truck from drive into pump that was leaking air, and we found a Band-Aid for it to get us through the weekend where they could get a part and come and make the repair on a Monday, and it just took them a few hours. So we got that repaired. We had an issue with the sprinkler system at Station 1, and that's an ongoing issue. There was some of the main components were leaking water, and we had somebody come and look at it. And unfortunately, they said that we need to have one of the more major components of that system replaced, some of the valving and things like that. And that's something we're going to address down the road. I'll work with the administrator on that. And so they were able to get it slowed anyway to just a drip for the time being. But I'll keep you updated on that. And then the training prop that we've been working on, we're actually getting very close to being done with that. We had some duct work attached to the side of it where we'll be able to burn in barrels next to the prop and funnel the smoke and the heat into the containers so it would make the trailer more realistic for us. But, does anybody have any questions about our report?
Have you had any updates on 23 on the parks?
No, unfortunately, there hasn't been any new updates on Engine 23.
We still know how long it's going to be down?
No, they're still saying, they don't know where the parts are at the moment. They're still being shipped from, I'm assuming it's overseas where they're made at.
So when 21 was down, you were head what, engine 4?
21 never actually went down. Like I said, we found kind of a way to make it work. We found out the issue on a Friday, and it was too late in the day on the Friday for them to come and get the part and come and work on it. And so we were able to make it work by putting the lever in just a different position and get it through the weekend anyway. And they were there first thing on Monday. Actually, it was Monday afternoon, I think, and it took a couple hours to get it repaired. So we never actually took the 21 out of service.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Next, we have our November report for the Monmouth Police Department. Chief Schweitzer.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. Short one this month. Month of November, we made 74 arrests. We issued 72 citations. 2,970 calls came into the dispatch center. MPD handled 1,275 calls. The dispatch center handled a total of 2,435 calls. We handled 20 accidents, and the officers worked 15 grant hours. For the month of November, officers spent approximately 24 hours in court for various traffic and criminal cases, and a reunification training was conducted at Central Intermediate and Monmouth Roseville Junior High School with the school staff. Staff training, officers continued with their state mandated training and equipment. Several MPD squad cars were taken in for various maintenance issues. And that's all I have, unless anybody has any questions.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Next item on our agenda is approval of the 2025 council meeting schedule. It schedules in your packet. I would entertain a motion for its approval.
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions about it or discussion? Hearing none, a roll call, please.
Daw,
Yes.
Pinero,
Yes.
Ferry,
Yep.
Beverly,
Yes.
Grant,
Yes.
Bone.
Yeah.
Motion.
Thank you. Joe, we have an approval of the demolition bid for 1114 South First Street. I believe that's for our grant dollars.
Yes, Mayor, Council, on December 13th, Friday at 10 a.m., we had a bid opening. We put out 7 packets. We got 2 back, and the high bid was $21,200 for 1114 South First Street, and the low bid was $7,470 by Brown Excavation and Demolitions. It would be our ask for a favorable recommendation that we accept the low bid. Has met all the criteria to move forward with that as well. Any questions?
Any idea why it's 3 times more expensive from the other company? Just out of
This other
curiosity.
one's they're further away, and they're kind of just testing the waters.
Okay.
Okay, the Brown Excavation's done this for a long time, and this does not have the assessment or the abatements. included in this, and this is just the demolition portion. I do have the assessment report. I haven't received it yet, but there's very little asbestos in that house. So we're probably going to be, I don't know, probably around $8,500 all in when we're done with this one, which is the lowest one we've had.
And we've
Be
used
quite
this
honest
brown
with you.
excavator before, right?
Oh, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes,
That's what I thought.
yes.
I got a couple questions. So, since I've been sitting on the council, we've tore down an awful lot of houses in town.
Mm-hmm.
Are we looking at these houses and maybe seeing if there's somebody, I know we end up with them because they get abandoned or whatever, but is there anybody out there that has been ever expressed any interest of buying these houses to rehab them so we don't have to tear them down, lose tax revenue, houses?
Right, right. And that's always the goal, to try to salvage. Now, you remember the one at 602 North C Street on the corner of Euclid and North C?
Mm-hmm.
Out of all the houses, and I've been with the city just over 6 years, out of every house I've went into, that has been the only house that was really close to being a good salvageable house. And we was able to get somebody to take it and buy it and fix it. And that house will probably, if it ever goes to sell, probably $85,000, $90,000 without a problem.
What's wrong with this one here? Because I just looked at the pictures of it, and I mean, I lived down there.
When you go into the house, 3 of the floors are in the basement.
Okay.
The floors are gone. Over half of the roof is gone. Trusses are deteriorated. The foundation's opened in several areas. I've got pictures of it if you would like to see it. There is another one that's going to be coming up here in the next couple of weeks that we're going to put out. The one that's just south of your son's house, I believe it is. It's another one. The assessment contractor wouldn't even go in it. I went in it when I had to stay to the interior walls, because in the attic floor is into the second floor is into the first floor, and 2 of the floors inside the house are open into the basement.
Gotcha.
It's not salvageable.
Oh, yeah.
We'd love nothing better than to save every one, but by the time we get to them, they're done. You know. And if I do come across one that we can salvage, we've had some on the list that we're going to go for demolition, and we've had realtors that have been able to put people in them that have fixed them. 508 South D is one. That one was scheduled to come down, and we were able to get somebody in there, and they fixed it. And it's still on the tax roll. So, yeah, we would love nothing better to keep everything on the tax roll that we can. Any other questions?
I just want to follow it. I kind of thought where you were going, but do we not have anyone local who is interested in doing this work and gets their bids in, or is it just
You mean as far as demolition
doing
contractors?
maybe they just
It's put out to bid. They have that opportunity. If they meet all the criteria, by all means, we'd rather see all the work go to local contractors. But that's not always the case.
Getting listed up front here, right? Or where's it going out to bid at?
It goes out into the paper, and then it also it's posted out here in the entryway area. And then I usually send out packets to all the area demolition contractors via email. Here's the thing with it. Abatement has gotten so high that on our house, let's use 1018 South Main as an example. That just bumped. It was $39,500, I believe. I think $16,000 of that was abatement. When your abatement runs higher than your demolition, and you've got the equipment outlay, you've got the fuel, the labor time, the insurances, the liabilities, contractors don't want to do that. They're not making any money at it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say that, but that's the truth. Any other questions?
Thank you.
So I would entertain a motion for approval of the low bid from Brown Excavating for $7,470.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. Any other questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Dodd,
Yes.
Pinero,
Yes.
Barry,
Yes.
Van Vliet,
Yes.
Grant,
Yes.
Bone,
Yes.
motion carried.
Thank you. Lou, I think we have a first reading for 2 items that relate to the North Commercial TIF District that we're establishing to Assist Beck Oil.
Yes, this is part of the establishment of a new TIF district for the redevelopment of Beck Oil. You may recall that we recently had vacated Maple City Drive and included that with the annexation of property that they had purchased on the north side of Maple City Drive as part of their development project. The ordinance here is to allow for the establishment of an interested parties registry. Now, this is not significant in the sense that we get a lot of people who are actually interested in registering as an interested party for any TIF. In fact, this is our fourth TIF district, and I'm not aware of anybody who's actually registered. It is a requirement of the TIF law, so we have to go through it, and so we ask for your approval of the ordinance. But I can tell you that the primary interested parties are the other taxing jurisdictions, and we already have a process through the Joint Review Board in the creation and maintenance of a TIF district. There are annual meetings with members representing the other taxing jurisdictions, the school, the county, library, parks district, those other, the township. And we meet to review the purpose of the TIF district as well as any of the projects that have been undertaken. But this registry is a requirement under the Act, although it is formal, it is very seldom used that I'm aware of, and it hasn't been used here. But it is a requirement, so I would ask for your approval of that. The other ordinance is simply to establish public hearing for the TIF district, which is also a requirement under the Act. That's been set for February 3rd at 5:30, and be a half hour before our regular city council meeting that night. So I would ask for your approval.
I entertain a motion for approval of the ordinances 2434 and 2435. We'll deal with them together. Second. I have a motion second. Any other questions of Lou or any discussion? Hearing none, a roll call, please.
Pinero,
Yes.
Perry,
Yes.
Bagley,
Yes.
Grant,
Yes.
Yes.
Daw,
Yes.
motion carried.
Thank you. The next 5 ordinances deal with our abating of the levying property taxes to pay for debt service for our general obligation bonds. There's only one bond, and that's our general obligation bond series 2014 that we levy. If you remember our levy, the last meeting, we levy $400,000 of property taxes to pay on that one bond. And the rest of those are paid for out of our water sewer funds. So we only levy $400,000 for annual debt service. I would entertain a motion for approval of those abatements. This is something we do each year, and we will get those recorded and not levy for them.
So moved.
And a second? And a second. Any questions about that? Hearing none, a roll call, please.
Pinero,
Yes.
Perry,
Yes.
Bagley,
Yes.
Grant,
Yes.
Bone,
Yes.
Daw,
Yes.
motion carried.
Thank you. Next, we have a second reading for the amendment to the liquor license numbers for class one. Thank you. Liquor license. I would entertain a motion for
Has he
No,
contacted anybody
he has
since
never.
the first time? I mean, to even say that he for sure is even interested in doing that,
There's been no follow.
He was wanting gambling, so he wanted.
right. So I'm just,
But here's the thing, like I said last time, I mean, Markham already drew it up, it's sitting there. I'm sure somebody eventually is gonna want, so why would we not just keep it there in case another one comes up and then we don't have to have Markham draw another one up?
I'm sorry, is it class 1 is class 4?
That's fine.
And that's package sales on it.
Yes, it's
Yeah, so
package
just
sales.
package.
It's off sale, so there's no consumption, no gaming license.
But we already have a lot of them.
I just kind of agree that it is a little bit irritating that there's been no follow-up. However, you know, if our attorney's gone all the trouble to write it up, and we can have one in our back pocket.
Yep.
We can always approve it or disapprove it later, so. But I mean, I do find your comment.
Yeah,
Agree.
I was just curious if you'd even.
That's why I asked him the first time he was here, and it is what it is. I mean, we knew what he was wanting. Right.
I assume the argument against would be that having more of them would dilute the value of any of them, but if there's nobody that's actually using it.
I agree with John. I mean, why, whatever market charges, 6 months from now, somebody comes in, now we're gonna have to pay market to do it again. I mean, if it's on the books, it's on the books, and we've got it.
And you did have one open in Class 1.
It's
We do
been,
have
it's
one.
been asked.
If
There's an
they ask
application,
for it,
yeah. They're applying, I believe. So,
they're applying.
Yeah.
They haven't been passed yet.
So, do I have a motion for,
So moved.
Right.
is there a second? There is a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ferry,
Yes.
Van Vliet,
Yes.
Grant,
Yes.
Bone,
Yes.
Daw,
Pass.
Panino.
Yes.
You wrote that. 5.
That's the majority, second. It passes. All right. We have nothing under other business. I'd entertain a motion for adjournment.
Move to adjourn.
And a second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. All opposed, same sign. Thank you.
Aye.
Thank you,